Hello everybody, I'm Roadblock and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. We are back on the free-to-play, but before I get started, I want to let you guys know about tomorrow's stream. Now, we are pulling shards on many different accounts tomorrow, and I just wanted to give you all a bit of a heads up about that. So basically, I'm pulling shards on all my accounts. I'm going to explain further in detail about the challenge account. But we will be pulling shards because there is a 1+1 event tomorrow. It does last for 48 hours, but I think for all of the champions that I'm really interested in, based on what I'm seeing, everything that I would want to pull for would be during tomorrow's, with the exception being void shards on Wednesday for my free-to-play account. That account is 190 into Mercy, and there's a Marishka option coming on Wednesday. So I'm leaning in that direction. And then tomorrow on the free-to-play, I really want Elva. On the main account, I really want Fina. So that's why I would pull during those events. I'm 10 into Mercy on the main account, so I feel confident there. On the free-to-play, I'm only 5 into Mercy, so that's a little more risky. But let's talk about the free-to-play challenge, because that's what you guys are here for. But come check that out live. I record those live, so you guys can be a part of it. And then I upload the video later. So if you want to see it live, you want to be there to cheer me on, root me on, you can definitely do that. They're always fun to do live. We have a lot of fun. So come check that out tomorrow. That will be at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, so MST. Okay, so make sure you guys I know a lot of you are in different time zones, put that in, see if you can attend. If not, the recording will come out, no big deal, but I know that a lot of you like to be able to see those, so I want to make sure that nobody missed it, because we've been having a lot of fun on stream lately. All right, let's talk about the challenge account. So let's talk strategy, okay? Now, I briefly talked about this tournament and going for this Prism Shard. Obviously, that is still a thing. You can clearly see that I've put a lot of points into this here, a lot of energy, rather. So we're at 1,140 points. We need 2,800. I feel like we're at a pretty good pace. So overnight tonight, all of my energy will be going into Sand Devil overnight. However, we talked about this briefly, or at least I think I talked about it, because I tend to record videos. There was a challenge, and in that challenge, the reward was a Sacred Shard, and I said, I'm glad to hold on to this Sacred Shard until I need it. Well, I'm going to need it tomorrow. That 1+1 event, I want to pull shards during. Now, I will say that that Wednesday has Helikath, which is very, very tempting to pull for. God tier clan boss champion. That being said, I think I'm going to pull tomorrow for an Elva. It would be the one that I would kind of target. Now, there's some really good champions in the mix there. I think there's Fina, Elva, Operdin, Kaja, Manaya's in there as well as 15x tomorrow for progressive chances. And then on Wednesday, it's Acelin, Helikath, Brogni, who would also be really good, and Korra, who would be really good, and Pinthroy, which I probably wouldn't go after having an Ugo. So there is some interesting champions in there. I personally am leaning towards an Elva a bit, because you get that increased speed, you get that cleansing, there's some healing in that kit, reviving in the kit. Like, I think it just provides an all-around accessible kind of champion that can really carry you in the game. So that's kind of what I'm targeting, but obviously we're nowhere near Mercy on the free-to-play challenge account, so it's very unlikely that I hit and get a legendary. But if I'm going to chase, the best time to do it is during a 1+1. So that's essentially what it is. The 1+1s are on Sacred Shards. So what I did is I basically forced myself to complete the Spirit Keep, and then forced myself to complete I thought it was 17 minutes, a 14-minute Fire Knight run, manual, on stream, to beat stage 13. This is not a level that I would be farming at. We don't have a good team for Fire Knight right now. We don't really have a lot of multi hitters. But we went ahead and chased for that. We got the Sacred Shard so we can pull it tomorrow and hopefully hit on something and get 2 legendaries. That would be a really good change of pace, right? Likewise, we are going to continue to use our energy to try and get a Prism Shard. Now, I think we're totally on a great pace. I mean, I have 2 days, 3 hours, and I mean, look at how close we are, right? You know, I need 1,700 more if my math serves. So I feel like that's pretty doable. And we're about to get 500 energy tomorrow. So this is really what I'm banking on. This energy reward right here, 500 energy. I have gained shards since the last video as well. So if I need to dump shards into it, or gems, if I need to dump gems into it, I can. Who knows what kind of rewards will be in the Summon Rush. If there's any energy in it, then we're going to use that energy as well to continue farming Sand Devil. But overnight tonight, we're going to generate quite a bit of energy, and we're going to do quite a few runs in that tournament. Now, I talked about this on stream. I don't know if I put it on camera for you guys, but one run with Super Battles is 20 energy. I'm clicking on all of the wrong things here. 20 energy, and we are gaining 24 points per 20 energy. When then again, that's with Super Battles on, right? So basically, we're actually gaining more point. We're gaining a higher than a point per energy. I don't know the math. I'm not going to figure it out because that's not what you come to my channel for. And if it is, then you're barking up the wrong tree. Regardless, I'm basically saying that we are gaining more than a point per energy. So I think we're on a perfectly fine pace to go ahead and get that Prism Shard. And ideally, we're shooting for an epic, right? Now, if we do pull a legendary, absolutely. But we're probably shooting for an epic. And most of those epics will be good epics, and even the ones that I'm not super big on will be good, I feel like, for Faction Wars, which is starting to play into things a bit more because I had a really hard time today on the Faction Wars for Undead. You can see here, so one of the advanced quests was to collect these rewards, to collect 30 of them or something like that, and you can't do it on stage 1. And what am I doing on stage 2? Just rocking Doom Screech. Yeah. But yeah, he's fine. I think he's a good I mean, I actually really like his kit for a rare. 30% turn meter with increased defense. AoE shield on this champion for 2 turns. Damage increased according to the current HP. Obviously, yep. Excuse me. And then chance to place decrease accuracy. The main thing that I like is the turn meter fill by 30%. But also bringing that increased defense is quite handy to have. Give you a little survivability. And I did talk in the past about using them in Arena. I don't think they're really going to make the cut, just given that I'm not getting the damage that I necessarily want out of Alice. But we'll see what kind of pulls we have tomorrow, and that may change things. So I am very, very excited about tomorrow and pulling shards. But yeah, we went ahead and we pushed to get that Sacred just because I think it's a good time to pull. Would a 2x be a better time to pull? Absolutely it would. But, you know, this is about having fun, and just think about how awesome it'll be if I do hit. If I don't, it happens, right? You know, that's Raid Shadow Legends for you. You just gotta, I think it's going to be pretty fun. A couple of other progression stuff that I wanted to talk about here for you guys. So on Doom Tower, we did go ahead and beat barely the Celestial Griffin. Now, essentially what I'm doing to beat this guy is turning off all of my buffs and all of my debuffs. That's incredibly hard with Kale, because unfortunately I cannot turn off his A1, which still puts poisons out there. Ugo puts leech out there, right? Even Tagor's A1 is giving me increased defense. Now, I manualed the fight in order to beat it. Took me 7 minutes and 43 seconds. That was pretty fine. The problem is that I'm not going to be able to do it on auto. I'm just not. Not with my current roster of champions. Honestly, I'm probably better off not even bringing Taragi, to be completely honest with you, because I turn off everything that he brings. So there's really no reason for me to bring him. I just am, because, I mean, I figured maybe he's better than nothing. You might say, well, oh, why don't you bring Dawncaller? And the problem with her, while she does bring some healing, is that really her whole kit is about buffs. So I don't really see the point in bringing her if I'm not going to use her buffs, right? And so it's just kind of a weird spot for me. So basically all I'm doing is just bringing my usual crew, and I was able to manual it to get through it. I want to farm this boss. I want to farm here. I actually really do, but I'm not going to do manual fights on this guy. Like, I'm not going to take 7 minutes over probably like 7 fights just to get his gear, which is really, really good. I need to come up with a better auto team. And so far, I mean, just because of the type of team that I have, he's not going to be the easiest thing for me to beat. I have a lot of damage coming from poisons, but he puts those poisons back on us. And this is where getting some good pulls will really make a difference, right? If we can get some block buffs, you know, things of that nature can really help us out. So we'll see what we get. I did see, too, on the calendar that it looked like there is a primal shard in this Dungeon Divers. Now, so far, we've been able to do pretty good on Dungeon Divers events. That's actually been really nice. As we're grinding and leveling up our food, we're getting points for Dungeon Divers, which is coming in very, very handy as far as getting extra resources. I will probably try, if possible, and I'll try to, you know, gauge it and see. I want to try for that primal shard because, I mean, you pull a mythical and the whole game changes. The other great thing about the primals is that the 2X's that matter for primals are gonna be so far away, so I might as well just pull. I mean, it's basically a 2X ancient, right? So what I mean by that is ancient shards normally have a 0.5% chance of being a legendary, right? When we pull during the 2X events, this becomes a 1% chance. Well, if you look right here with primals, oh, look, a 1% chance. Oh, look, a 16% chance at Epic. This is what I'm usually pulling. So, yes, they do put on double Epic, double legendary primal events, but I don't know that I really care about that so much, so I would kind of just pull it. There is part of me, as I start to get further and further behind, and I start to lack more and more opportunities for legendaries, there is a part of me that is heavily considering, okay, you know what? This is going to be a problem because we're not going to be able to go for a fusion, and this could be a really good fusion. I don't know. We don't know anything about what it's going to be, but there is the possibility that it's a very good fusion. Yeah, I mean, that is a thing. It is a little frustrating that I, you know, blew my shards and whatever and may not be able to go for it, but I hate to say it, I'm kind of all right. Like, I'm having fun, and I think that's what matters. Because the reality is it could be a bad fusion. The reality is I could pull a legendary and it could be a bad legendary. There's a lot of different things that can and cannot go my way. But for the most part, my plan is to just have fun with this event, play it a little bit crazy, you know, enjoy myself, because the reality is that when I'm playing this account and kind of like letting, I think I said this the other day, letting my intrusive thoughts win and just pulling like crazy, the benefit of that is I'm saving up so many shards over on the main accounts. Like the free-to-play account, been saving. The main account, so the main account, I talked about this when I made my video where I'm not going to be spending, and I haven't spent any money for the month of January. I canceled my raid card. Like, I'm doing everything I can to just, well, mostly for financial reasons, to be completely honest with you guys, but I'm not really spending money in the game right now. And the one caveat to that would be if there is a good February Valentine's Day fusion combo, right? Like we're talking Ancora Narcissus last year. I think Siphi and Rotos were one of them before. I could be wrong about a lot of this, so don't, I think Siphi and Rotos came out before I ever started playing. But it's that kind of like really good, powerful champion combo that I would like to take part in on my main account. So what they did last year was Narcissus was a guaranteed Void legendary with 100 and some Void shards, I think. So I spent all my Void shards during the 2x events and all the good Black Friday and craziness that they had during that and the holidays. So I'm playing catch up now, and I've managed to get 31 of them back. So my goal was to get 60, and I've managed was to get 60 in 2 months. So I was looking for 1 void a day, and I've managed to already hit 31, and we're only on the 20th day of January. So I'm actually getting void shards at a really good pace on the main account. Now, all of those are coming from Clan Boss. They're coming from Doom Tower and other areas of the game. But I'm working really hard to get and save up those void shards because I really don't. I missed out on Narcissus, and that really hurt me. Like, I regret that decision because I could have got him. I could have put some money into the game. I just wasn't willing to at the time. But that's going to be my birthday, which we're gonna talk more about my birthday as we get closer to it, because I am going to be doing some fun stuff, I think, for my birthday. I'm still trying to figure that out. If there's anything embarrassing you guys want to see me do, let me know in the comments so I can add it to my potential list of goals. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Let's talk missions real quick. So we are on this get 3 rank 6 champions, and obviously this all hinges on tomorrow, basically. Maybe not exactly. We're going to pull the Sacred, and then we may have to wait another day or so. I might just pump the gems, and we had the 1 potion in here too that's ready to go, like the energy refill, I should say. I collect these, by the way, at 2 days just so I don't forget them. So, yeah, I mean, that's a possibility that I do that. We'll see where we are at tomorrow morning. I'm not gonna like deprive myself of too many resources just so I can pull on camera. Like, I can pull that. Well, I don't want to pull it off camera. I'll record it regardless, but it doesn't have to be live during the stream when I pull that, right? So, but the Sacred Shard will be pulled tomorrow. Sacred Shards on all the other accounts will be pulled tomorrow, because nothing on the Wednesday, I think, matters to any account other than the free-to-play challenge. It would make sense to try and pull for Helicath or Brogni. I think they're probably maybe a little bit better for the account than Elva. No, sorry. I take that back. I don't think they're better for the account than Elva. I think they're better for Clan Boss than Elva. But I feel like Elva is very, very good everywhere. I will admit that Brogni I have never pulled or used before on my account, so I'm not entirely familiar. So he does have a mini cleanse. And block debuffs. And a burn. Yeah, I know how effective he is in clan boss. Obviously, it's kind of a non-issue because we're not going to be getting a legendary tomorrow. You know, we have only a 6% chance. We don't have any bonus at all, but I just feel like Elva might be a little more viable across the board because you're talking speed and all battle aura, very, very big. You have the cleanse with a block debuffs and increased speed. Continuous heals from the A1. Healing at the start of the turn. Obviously perfect veil, and then the revive, which will come in handy, especially early game. So I'm kind of leaning in that direction. I don't know. I could always change my mind, but I think I'm pretty set on that decision. So come hang out tomorrow. We're gonna have some fun, I think, anyways. I just want to make sure there isn't anything else that... Oh, you know what? Let's do this real quick. Let's go ahead and craft some of this. So Guardian Gear, I'm really excited about. I think Guardian Gear can be really good for me. I'm not going to spend on only these lower... Well, I don't know that I'll ever even be able to get the 5 to 6 star stuff. But regardless, I don't really want to spend on a 4 to 5 star. I don't want to like upgrade it. But we'll go ahead and craft these real quick. We'll craft 3 of these guys. See what we can get. I mean, there's no reason to not keep it right now, but I don't think that sees play. There we go. I'd like it to have some speed on it, but regardless, a defense % chest is going to come in pretty handy here. Would like to see some HP, but that's not terrible. Come on. Ouch. I'm going to hold on to those. I don't typically like to re-roll those, but there is the chance. I mean, 5-star Guardian, there is a chance that, you know, I do have... I'm not gonna waste those re-rolls on it, but there is the chance that I get other re-rolls and I can re-roll that in the future. So, we'll hold on to it for now. There's really no reason to get rid of it. It's not... We have plenty of room for gear, which is not the norm. Silver, still an issue. As you can see, we had to do a lot of champion rebuilding. In order to beat that team, in order to beat Fire Knight, I did have to build an Armiger. He's not perfectly built, only 95% crit rate, but he doesn't have a masteries yet, so I will be able to get that up to 100%. Only 153 speed, not exactly thrilled about that. However, I do think that if I was to get just the very first mastery on him right here, if I was to get that, and we get Morag in a couple of days, where are we at on her? Yeah, so 1,129, right? If we get Morag in a couple of days, I think that might be the makings of a pretty decent Fire Knight team. You know, you've got Armiger for the turn meter reduction, ally attack out of Morag. Probably stick with Alice and Kale in that team, and probably Ugo, or, you know, whatever I end up pulling. Maybe Tagore. Tagore does have the double hitter, so maybe Tagore would be the better choice if he was 6 stars, right? Because then we get the double hitter, we get the increased speed, which will be handy, and a potential revive if anybody dies, because Armiger is only 40 right now. Ideally get him up to 50. I don't know that I would take him beyond 50. He's great. If this was a long-term account, I would definitely take him beyond 50, but it being a short-term account, I don't know that I would want to dedicate that many resources in this short amount of time for Armiger, right? So, we'll see. We've got a few options here, but that is kind of where we're at. That's the strategy that we are working with right now. We're going to pull shards tomorrow. We're going to see what happens. I might pull the Ancients. I doubt that I pull I don't know. We'll see. I definitely pull in the Sacred. I probably want to save the Ancients and the Voids moving forward, but we will see. Well, hey, thank you all for watching. If you are new here for the free-to-play challenge, please consider subscribing. I love making content, and I love doing series like this, but I also have a main account that I make content on and my main free-to-play account, which, if I have a good pull on Wednesday, could really ramp up very quickly. So, please consider subscribing. It is the best way to support my channel right now, and that's really just what I'm looking to do, trying to build this and grow this into something special. So, as always, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.